Hey, hi, how are you? It's Crystal again. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Something like that. It's my unicorn blankie. We're just gonna there we go. I got a pillow now. So I wanted to do a writing update. I haven't been able to really type, especially for a long period of time because of my wrist surgery and injury and blah blah blah. And still I can't sustain a long amount of typing. So what I'm doing currently is the old-fashioned way. And although this isn't the manuscript I'm working on, it's just plans for the series as a whole. Currently, next to me I have the entirety of one manuscript, or draft of a book, however you want to put it. The beginnings of a second, the notes for a third, and the plans on the series. And then in my lap, I have two of my writing planner. Yes, I know that's backwards. It's okay, I'm telling you what it says. And then two of my novel outline planner. I haven't gotten the third book in the series yet for the publishing because I'm not quite there yet with book one. Book one is currently being read by myself and a few select others to take it from the draft it's at now to the next draft and implement changes, at which point then I will send it out to several beta readers and then the next set of readers, and at that point sometime next year it should be ready to publish, and by then the prequel should also be very close behind that, within a month or two, and then book two should be a month or two behind that. That's the plan. It's currently why I am rereading what I've written for the prequel so far and doing some minor editing there so I can catch myself up. If I have to start writing by hand, I will. If I have to dictate by voice, I will. But the wrist is improving, so hopefully I can type for, at least 20 minutes at a time for 20-minute sprints, and that will help. The first draft will be ready by the end of next month to go to the beta readers, which is a very amazing thing as far as I'm concerned, because I'm editing it by hand, old-fashioned at the moment, and then I will go back in and I will take the edits I've made by hand and plug them into the computer, and then I can just share the file. And as much as that seems like twice as much work, it kind of is, at least I'm able to begin editing on it in a way that I haven't been able to do in a long time, and because I wanted to, since I was not working because I'm on workman's comp at the moment. I was like, oh, I'll get all this writing done, and yeah, no, that didn't happen because of my wrist, but now it's going to. One moment, I need a drink. Good old-fashioned Pepsi. We're not drinking in the middle of the day. Please? Yeah, we're not drinking in the middle of the day. It's summertime. We could. We're not. And one of the ways I'm also using this method of editing is I am currently reading the book to Hopi, and she is real-time giving me her feedback, page by page, chapter by chapter, and then at the end of our reading session letting me know, as a whole, if there was anything she would have changed with that chunk that we read, or to combine that one and the chunk beforehand. So the reason I have so many of these books right here, this one, I have to peek inside the cover. This one is for book one, because it helps go through the stages. Like, I won't use this one as much for this book as I will for the second book. And I know that right now because I don't need as much of the like brainstorming, blah, blah, blah. And I already have everything planned out for this book. So it's more of a practice what I'm doing, practice what I preach, write it in here, do the thing, cross it off. This one is for the prequel, which is obviously going to take a heck of a lot more effort than this one. And the only reason it's going to take more effort is because the book one's already written. I did a massive amount of work on that right now. This one helps you outline it. So this one's for the prequel. And then this one is for book 2. And before I start any type of major notes or anything for book 3, I'll get another one of these. And before I'm ready to start editing or anything for book 2, because I haven't even started writing book 2, I'll get one of these. No, I have one of these. Don't I? Wait. Got me confused. No, I will get one of these. In the meantime, everything will just go in a regular notebook that I can transfer. I've decided I much rather like having the hard copy of these things at hand than opening my laptop or my phone and going to the file and opening it up and then having to jump to a different file and having to jump to a different file. I can bookmark these. I can put page tabs in them. I can put dividers in them. I can do whatever the heck I need to do. Or, you can print off pages that are similar and put it in a binder. But I can do whatever I need to do and just have it next to me while I'm writing. I can have it next to me when I'm sitting. I can, just like I can my paper planners. And although I'm using planners in a different way now than I have been in the past, I'm still using them. So, but what I'm going to sit here and do today, and I will get back with you guys probably either really late tonight or first thing tomorrow, because this is not Wednesday. This is a Friday, but this will go up next Wednesday. I'm going to lay out a different week in here because the weekly plan I have made currently is not realistic, and plus some of my things have changed, like my occupational therapy for my wrist, physical therapy for my wrist. So I'm going to replan out my week, see how that goes, while I've got some just Hulu on the television. And what are you guys doing? Oh, sorry, he's not hurt. He jumped up and tried to like play with Katie, and she got his toe bean. You coming to tattle? Yeah. I'll come into tattle. It's okay. I promise. Anyway, ADHD brain got distracted by animals. I will get back with you guys in a little while and let you know what I actually got accomplished today. Yeah. So I'm working on reading the prequel again. Mainly because I don't want to just sit there making red notes on white paper at the moment for book 1. And I came across a couple of paragraphs I would like to read to you guys, just because I can. Our people do not get to rest, so I cannot rest while they fight for us to be allowed to rest. Or would you rather we lose the entire war and all perish? Aldwin's eyes flashed in anger, reminding his father for a moment that the fire that had seemed to dwell in his late wife's spirit. Or worse, should we all become slaves to the humans that fear us so much, so suddenly? Because I cannot think that that would be a good life for any of our people. If I don't join them in battle, yet expect them to fight still without me alongside them, then I am not the man that I believe that I am, and I would not want to rule them to begin with. And I cannot command your brother to stay home without you. King Eldwin's voice was a gruff growl. He couldn't argue with either of his sons. Both had valid reasons for what they did, and he respected both for those reasons, though he had not and would not rule in the same way that his son intended to. His father had ruled like that, and he'd worn himself literally to death in the process. The elderly Eldwin had no intention of spending what little time he knew that he had left to live following in his own father's footsteps. He hoped that his eldest son would take a step back from such active leadership long before he wore himself to death. Lita chose just that moment to come into the throne room, and she playfully skipped to her father, tugged his beard, and sat in his lap. She was the only one who'd ever dared act that way with the king of the Fae. Well, the only one since her mother had passed away. Father, I don't know why you bother discussing this repeatedly with the big dunce. He won't listen. Aeon won't listen. They're both stubborn as mules and twice as sick in the head. I'm here with you, and I've tried twice to talk to both of them out of this foolishness. Neither would listen to me either. I'm sure the next battle will be coming all too soon. Can we not just enjoy the little time we have together as a family? Her tone was light and almost childish, with a bit of a whine. And for the Fae, she really was still a child, even if nearly the age of maturity. And yet, she only took this tone with her father. With her brothers, though she loved them dearly, she spoke with cold logic and rarely showed her feelings. Her eyes locked with her eldest brother's, and she arched her left eyebrow. She's right, Father. I guess that neither Aeon nor myself will change our minds in this, and there's probably no more use talking about it. I've already got word that our troops are needed to join some others tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to a good supper, perhaps an actual warm bath, an excellent book by the fire in your study, and a good night's sleep in my very own bed. Eldwin had moderated his tone, recognizing his sister's look of warning that their father had been stressing far too much, and arguing with him over something that no one was going to change their minds on was useless and likely only to upset their father. King Eldwin hugged his daughter and patted her head as if she were still a very young child. He was well aware that she didn't normally act so affectionate and childlike. He recognized her worry for him and could feel her healing gift reaching out to him to soothe his frazzled nerves. He kissed her forehead. Of course, our little princess is right. I don't think that she's been wrong about anything since she learned how to talk. Why don't you go and take a long hot bath, son? I'll see you at supper. And perhaps before you get too deeply into that book you crave so much, you would indulge me in a short game of chess on your grandfather's old chessboard? I forgot how much detail I put into some of these scenes. And I can almost picture that one. Decided I'd come out and take a little bit of a walk with Chip. It's about 3 o'clock. It's about when I want to start taking him on a walk, temporarily as it is. He was wrapped around me trying to get after the bicycle. Reading still gives me a migraine, and I had a migraine prior that was just trying to start up. It's all on the left side. I haven't been feeling good all week. Stroke fatigue still is a thing, unfortunately. Good boy, Chip. Good boy. Come on. And I kind of overdid it. So, but I did manage, I don't know, in the last almost 3 hours. So that, for somebody who can speed read paragraphs still, as long as it's only one paragraph, and who used to read an entire 300 or 400 page book in no more than 5 hours, I have managed to read the worm. There you go. I have managed to read 5 small chapters in the prelude, which is approximately a total of 50 pages. So, and that it's set up for me to be able to easily read it because I wrote it that way. It's double spaced in both the words and the lines, and so it's very easy for my brain to digest, except for my brain is now tired. So I'm going to take a short break. I do want to say that normally I'm not going to do more than a couple hours every day working on my writing, whether it's reading or editing or actual writing. But so normally I'm only going to do 2 to 3 hours, but I wanted to be so much further ahead this week than I am, and actually last week as well. So I got about 3 hours of reading into it. There's only 20 or 30 more pages of the prelude book, the prequel, that's already written for me to actually go through. So I might just continue to try and get through that possibly before I make supper. And then I'm going to take a few hours break while I eat and, hang out with Hopi and clean and take the dog on another walk. And then this evening, before going to bed, which Hopi and I don't go to bed till late normally anyway, I'll read her another couple of chapters from the book 1. I'm going to continue taking Chip on a quick walk. We're not going to do as big of a walk as we normally will in the evening, mostly because I'm still tired. I don't have Hopi with me, and kind of want to get back inside because although it's not hot, it's humid from all the rain. And I'll update you guys later because I'm going to go home and take some Tylenol and do some slow reading. But here is a little picture of the Chip, well, video, a clip. Chippy-doo-dah, chippy-doodle, chip-a-doodle, 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 chip-a-doodle. Came home. Read the rest of the prequel. It ended up being like another 2 chapters and an extra page of the next chapter. Had forgotten some of the stuff I'd written completely. Like, oh, my brain must have been smart that day. Because it's a stroke of genius as far as I'm concerned. I'm quite sure it's not. I'm quite sure it's just like my brain was like, ooh, add this in there, and that's what it did, and it works. But it doesn't come till right at the end of chapter 7, so that's good. Anyway, I have a couple hours before I need to make supper and work on some of the house cleaning that I haven't quite gotten to this week. And mess with the kitty cat, who are now a couple days post-surgery from having been neutered and want attention. Like the Proby right here, because he wants attention. He just, like, legitimately walked all the way across the living room and climbed up on the recliner just to get attention. Now he's at my feet and gonna jump down to see what the dog's doing. But yeah, I'm done reading, writing, editing until late in the evening. And to be honest, I probably won't get off of my booty for at least half an hour before I start to clean and or do anything else around here. I'll catch up with you guys after I read later and let you know where I stand on everything for this week's worth of progress on my writing. Oh, my hair, well, it looks better than when I woke up from my nap. And I've changed again. That could possibly be because, I ended up with 2 baths today. But anyway, we ate. We took the dog on another walk. I came home, took a quick bath in cool water to cool off. Lay down on the couch watching a documentary and fell asleep. Woke up, talked to the Martin, got off of the phone, and sat and read and edited 44 pages of my novel. So that was almost 10 pages more than I had planned on. We'll do some more tomorrow. But at the moment, I'm about a third of the way through editing the book, which is intense progress. I'm sure I will edit it several more times before it actually goes to all of the beta readers. However, I have updated my writing planner for this book, and I am now going to sit here and watch a couple of documentaries on the couch and crochet and probably pass out to sleep sitting on the couch. But that is okay. I might move to the recliner that has the massage and the vibration, well, the massage and the heat. Hey, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty cat. Anyway, that's it for this week's update on my writing. I will do a update, I don't know what type of style of update, next week on Wednesday. It's going to become a regular thing. We need it to be a regular thing again, and I used to do it all the time. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you next week. Actually, I'll see you on Friday for a different video, but I'll see you next week for the writing ones on Wednesday. Bye-bye now.